Uncle Nick. How are you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of the Smooth Jazz Lounge.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
looking dapper as always.
Yeah, head on
You
my mask.
you are the snazziest dresser in smooth jazz.
Yeah.
I even put on a suit today because I need to be wearing a suit.
Well, I thought this was better than wearing a t-shirt. So,
So how have you been today? You had a good day?
yes, so far so good. It's very windy here in the big windy, so just trying to keep from blowing away.
And that is Chicago, right?
Yep,
Yeah, the Windy City.
Chi-town.
So tell us, how did you get that name, Uncle Nick?
That was from guys long ago, a drummer that plays out. When he had his kid, he would be playing with me, and he'd always tell his kid to go over there to Uncle Nick, go to Uncle Nick. So then he just started referring to me as Uncle Nick, and then the next thing I knew, everybody was calling me Uncle Nick. People old enough to be my grandfather calling me Uncle Nick, and so it kind of stuck. So when we did this song, me and Nicholas Cole, he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, Uncle Nick, what we gonna name the song?" I said, "Just call it Uncle Nick, and let's call it a day." you know. So that's how that came about. And when the song came out, then everybody started calling me Uncle Nick. I was like, okay. Long as they're not asking me for any money, like that uncle thing.
So Uncle
But,
Nick is going to stick, right?
yep. So I stuck with it.
And you also had a different nickname when you was growing up.
Yeah, they used to call me the kid then. 'Cause,
And why was that?
well, all the older groups out of Chicago, like, Stable Singers and Impressions, and they needed somebody to play. People would say, yeah, why don't you get that kid from the West Side? So yeah, we get the kid. So then I became the kid. And
So when did you actually start playing the guitar?
uh, well, when I started fiddling around with it when I was 9, so I'd say when I was 9 years old, my stepdad started teaching me to play.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I broke like 11, 12, I came into guitar playing straight up jazz. That's what he taught me because that's what he knew.
Right.
And then but all my peers, the kids, they were listening to R&B.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing R&B. And fortunately enough, I got a chance to go on the road first time when I was 15, and which didn't make my mother very happy because she like, don't go out there getting no dope and all that stuff. I'm like, oh God. So
So when you started playing, you did your first gig at 15. Who was that with?
that was with Staples.
So how did you get involved with the Staple Singers? 'Cause that's quite incredible.
Well, my band won a citywide competition, so we had some studio time, and they were in another studio. They were in A studio. We were in the B studio, and I happened to run into Mavis and Cleo, and look in the room where they had the machines to get pop and stuff, and started talking to them, and they told me they were looking for a guitar player. So, and Pop was in the studio, so I went there and I auditioned right then. And that was a Monday. I went out there to their rehearsal Tuesday, and Wednesday I left on the road with them.
Oh my
You know?
goodness. That's
So,
quite incredible. So what was your best moment with them?
uh, my best moment was also my worst moment. Because we did this TV show, and I had a part where I would come to the front of the stage and do this thing with the guitar with Mavis. And it was my big moment, and I got up to the front, and my nose started bleeding.
Oh my goodness.
So I played the whole thing with my head back and swallowing blood and strangling. So, but it was cool. I was still on TV. so, so I guess the next show they was gonna put me on was the Cartoon Network if it would have been invented then. But
So you say you always also played with the Emotions.
I played with just about everybody that came out of Chicago. I got to play with him on the flute. The guitar player quit. We were
Mm.
playing at the Apollo, and he quit. So I got the job. I was already there. So
So was you not nervous when they asked you to join them?
I'm
Was
always
you was
nervous.
confident enough that you knew you was good? So like, yeah, I can do this.
I'm still nervous now. you know, I'm nervous now when I go on stage. I'm very nervous all the time. You know, let's go out there and people say, "What's your style?" I say, "Reckless abandon." I just go out there and let it do what it do. So
So you grew up in Chicago,
born and raised in
born
Chicago.
and raised there. So I assume the music scene is really big out there.
It was, the jazz scene got really small, but we got a lot of blues clubs. We got blues clubs next door to blues clubs. You can go in and one club and come out and go into the next club, and it's like the same song. It's like, hey, you start in one, they were like, yeah, my baby left me. You leave out, going there to the next club, and she ain't coming back no more. So we got a lot of blues clubs, but not a lot of jazz clubs. Back in the day, we had jazz clubs all over the place. And now, trying to get the youngsters into listening to jazz, or you know, they're so into lyrics,
Hmm.
realizing that instrumental music tells a story too.
Yeah.
But so I talk to the younger players in this genre and tell them, hey man, y'all gotta start making music that young people like, else, we're gonna kill the genre. So we gotta keep it going.
Right.
But they'll get to it. A couple of cats out there really doing it,
Hmm.
and I got 'cause I talk to a lot of the guitar players who are younger than me, and they want a lot of advice. Only advice I can tell them is, don't do what I do. So, you
You seem to be doing okay.
yeah, it all depends, what you consider okay. I'm all right, God's been blessing me and keeping me healthy and keeping me out there, able to play.
Hmm.
I noticed during the last couple of years I'm not jumping around as much, but all that running and stuff, started getting to me. I was like, okay.
So can you give me a comparison from your first album to your latest release? What is the difference? Have you had to kind of move with the times to try and, to get to those young people?
Yeah, I'm and then stuff I'm working on now. I'm trying to reach back to the youth a little bit. From my first record, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just recording a record because the bass player had a studio. I didn't know what I was doing. And God bless it. And I got some good avenues on, some good radio on that one. And when I got to my second record, I was like, oh yeah, I'm on my way now. So I named that one Arrival. I hadn't arrived. Because I hardly got any airplay on that. And I went to my third record. I said, okay, I'm gonna call this the seduction. I'm gonna seduce their ears. Didn't work. you know. Then I got to my fourth CD, and that one took off. And funny story about that one is that I left out of the studio with all my master tapes and everything, and I went outside to catch a cab, and people ask me this, and this is a true story. I I talked to my great grandmother a lot back then, and I used to tell her, this seems like it's not going to happen for me. And she's like, It's because you don't put God first. You trying to do it yourself. So when I did that record, came out the studio, I looked at the sky and said, God, whatever you want to do with this record, you do it because I do not know what I'm doing. 2 weeks later, I had a record deal. A month and a half later, I had a number one song, So, but as far as from what I played back on my first record and what I'm playing now, I don't know what happened because I can't play no better. you know, Not to me, but
So sorry, what album was that you were just talking about?
that was the album Just Come On In with the song High Flying.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
That's my first number one song. And
Oh, amazing. So your
yeah,
album, The Journey,
hmm
is that the one where you had quite a lot of number ones?
yeah, 5 number one singles from that record. And
Hang on one second. Because that is
I
pretty
didn't know you had that
impressive.
many people in that studio.
You are comical.
That studio didn't look that big. but yeah,
Yeah, that is just impressive. And I was looking actually today to see if he was in the Guinness Book of Records for that, but you're not. But you should be.
I guess I had to get 7 or 8. So,
Maybe of your latest album, Fingerprinting. No, finger painting, sorry. Finger painting. So how did you come up with that title?
I don't know, but I feel like playing music is like drawing pictures. You're drawing pictures and using different colors to show the music. Music is very colorful. When I close my eyes and play music, I see colors. So and I figure musicians are painting with their fingers. Painting notes with your fingers.
Hmm.
So I decided to call it finger painting. And I'm still having a lot of hope for this record, because as soon as it was released, the COVID jumped in and messed up everything. I was like, why on my record? you
But I
know?
personally think this is a good time to be releasing music because a lot of people at home, they are researching the internet more, they're downloading more, they are listening to a lot more music, they're not listening to a lot of the radio as well. So it could be a good thing.
Well, I'm glad you're listening to music. I hope it's a lot of mine, but I can only hope, you know. But I miss being out there promoting the record, live on stage.
Hmm.
Because I mean, the last real gig I did, was in Chicago, my annual Valentine's Day show, and that was February 15th. And since then, I did a couple of private things that just kind of came up, and there were 20 people, 15 people on one. But it don't matter to me. It could be one person.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play like it's 10,000. Cause
good for you.
I just love to play. I love to go out there and I love to play.
Yeah, I see that. I do watch a lot of your videos on YouTube.
Mm.
And I checked today as well. I did a lot of research on you today. And
Yeah.
your most watched video was had like about 75,000 plays.
Yeah.
Do you actually look at your videos and see the comments that you get on YouTube?
I try not to look at that stuff. People
They're
be.
all really great comments. They're amazing.
I look every once in a while, and then I was like, and I'm very critical of myself because I'll be like, man, I look kind of stupid playing that part. Why did I do that? Or man, I could
You
have
can't
prayed my
look
shirt out.
perfect all the time.
Why is my shirt unbuttoned right there? So, and I hardly ever listen to my music in the house. Every once in a while, when I have the iTunes on shuffle,
Hmm.
something will come up. But it's good, sometimes to listen to some of the stuff you've done because you get on the gig, and people are always screaming out songs, play this, play that. I'm like, who made it? And they like you. I'm like, oh, I did. you know, I, we were, me and my band were walking through the airport, and they were like, hey man, ain't that one of your songs? And I'm listening. I'm like, no, that ain't one of my songs. They're like, yes, it is. So I stopped. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is one of my songs. And he's like, what's the name of it? Like, I don't know. Let me check my iTunes. Because some songs, you record them, and after you record them, you never play them again. You don't play them on the live show, so you just kind of forget them. And,
But you must have a favorite song of yours that you like to play especially.
I got two favorite songs. I have a song called East Evergreen that was actually on my first record. It was first or the second record I recorded on that CD, and then we re-released it on one of my records. I think it was On the Journey, or Just Being Me, one of them.
Hmm.
My favorite song, and it didn't get no radio thing. It was too long. I was doing the Isaac Hayes Barry White on the song. The song was about 8 minutes long. I couldn't stop. But and then the song that I did with James Lloyd, When You Love Somebody.
Yeah.
It's, I think that's one of my favorite songs I recorded.
Well,
And,
my favorite song of yours is Just Another Slow Jam.
oh yeah,
That
did
is
that
just
one with,
proper like R&B kind of vibe, and I just love it so much.
did that one with Chris Big Dog Davis.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, me
So he's
too.
your producer,
Yep, one of them.
one of them.
He's like he's holding the number one spot because I've had so many number one songs with Chris, and the one song that we didn't get a number one, we got number two. So but I was kind of sad because number two was like being first run up in the Miss America contest. Nobody know who you are, so, you know. I can't tell you who the first runner up was.
But I do have a question from my good friend DJ Spider. On one of your albums, you have a song called Po House.
Oh yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah, me and my cousin Paul did that one together, and it's starting to be true right now. Back in the poor house again, ran out of money and I lost my friends, But yeah, that one, we did that one. It was fun, and I remember playing it at the gig at Seabreeze, and I was singing back in the poorhouse again, and people started bringing money and throwing it on the stage, and I'm thinking to myself, do you all really think I'm gonna give this back? If you do, you're nuts. Because I stopped playing and started putting money in my pocket. So, but when when I sent that song to Barack Obama when he was president, and things were getting a little rough for me. I sent the MP3 to the White House. Hey, I'm back in the poorhouse again. Y'all come up with something because the kid broke. I don't want to have to start pawning guitars around here. So
Talking about guitars, tell
mhm.
the people right here how many guitars you have.
And in my house, I got 42 in here. Then I got some in my mom's house that she keep telling me I got to come and get all my equipment out of her house. And I keep saying, yeah, I'll be over there this week to get it. That's been like 4 years. So,
So, do you class yourself as a collector or hoarder?
you know, I call myself a person who grew up, barely having a lot of stuff, and just able to have one guitar was good, and then, as I, grew up, started making money, I started buying guitars, and then I got endorsements, and they started giving me guitars, and I was like, oh, this is like great. My mom comes here, she's like, you got all these guitars, and every time I see you, you playing the same one. But I like looking at them, because I remember the days when I couldn't afford it,
Mm.
and just go into the guitar center and stuff like that, and just wish I could buy a guitar,
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
So,
good on you. But do you know what they all look like?
oh yeah, and they all have different sounds, So it's not that I use all of them, but I use a lot of them when I'm recording. I just look around and say, okay, who wants to play today? Then you pick it
we
up. Now
have
you
we do
got it.
have a few guitarists on the Zoom event
Oh,
with us right now. So I'm going to ask Floyd. Floyd, would you like to ask a question?
what do you want to say, Floyd?
Yeah, there's Floyd.
Yeah, um, I came across you a few years ago, and I loved your style. And the question I wanted to ask you would be, what is unique about your tone, and what sets you apart from other smooth jazz guitarists?
Well, my tone is, you know, what I've been trying to do my whole life is not actually sound like somebody else. Maybe, their sound. I'll steal some of their licks, but, I don't want to have their sound. I always wanted my sound to be defined where when you hear the song, it's me kind of, it's like, oh. And now, I see a lot of the young guys, having that sound, and I'm like, they're playing records, and I'm like, is that me? Okay, no, there's just some dude that figured out my tone. But I go for really big sound. I like really big, rich sound, and I use real heavy gauge strings on my guitar, so that I can get that full tone. And a lot of it comes because when I first started playing in my first band, it was just me and my brother, and he played drums, and I played guitar. So I learned to play really full chords and tried to make the guitar sound as big as it can, as I could, because we didn't have a bass player, So that's how my tone kind of came about, and it's went through a few transitions for me to get to where it is now. But I'm feeling it. Sometimes I think it's a little too deep, and I try to get off of it, but then it don't feel good to my ears. It's,
The, the the other
go.
thing is, I mean, you say you use gauges. What size gauge do you use?
I use 14s. I
Oh
use
wow, I use 13s.
yeah. So
Can't
come
can't
on up,
get 14s.
come on to the dark side, Luke, and go up another gauge.
If I can get hold of them, I would use them. I do like the heavier gauges. Do
The
you use
only
flat ones?
Yeah, I use the Tomastic Infield George Bensons, and those are the only ones that I can find with a 14 gauge. Although GHS does make a Pat Martino string, which comes with a 15 string, But
Ooh.
it's like I don't know, I'm about to cut my fingers off already, so I'm gonna stay with the 14s.
My last question would be, uh, how do you think West Montgomery's approach to guitar shaped guitarists today?
Well, I mean, Wes is the most copied guitar player out, and when I got my first electric guitar, I had to know bumping on Sunset note for note before they bought me an electric guitar. And you know, I'm telling you, now the one thing I do,
Oh, is it frozen? Oh, I believe it's just frozen. The Frozen for everybody.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, it's froze for me.
yeah. Okay, let's play a song as we wait for him to come back. Well, thank you so much for that, Floyd. I'm glad that we have a passionate guitarist to ask the right questions.
I'm sure Paul will ask the same questions as well, similar.
He's got some questions too, yes. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But thank you again. I appreciate. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I I listen to West every day, and so I alternate from the pick to my thumb, and I play better with my thumb, but it won't cut through on the big stage. And I also one year went to see a classical guitar player, Julian Bream, and I got to talk to him, and he explained something to me that I never thought of. He said, because classical players, they play with their fingers. He says, when you get a pick, you put something in between you and the instrument. You know, it's not you and the instrument. You got a foreign thing there. So I noticed when I'm playing with my thumb, my ideas are entirely different. My approach is different. I can feel the guitar and the guitar can feel me. So that's a great thing. I just wish, on the big stage, you have to play too hard with your thumb, and I'm not trying to hurt myself, so, so, it's all good. But yeah, Wes is the most copy guitar player. When I met his son one morning
Okay.
going to the airport, I was getting in the van to go to the airport. He was calling my name. And he's like, yeah, we put this tribute together for my father. I didn't know him, and he ain't who he was. And he was like, I was like, oh yeah, who's your father? He's like, Wes Montgomery, what's my father? And I was like, man, come over here and let me get some of your DNA all over me.
I love that.
So, and he and I became friends, so yeah, they know I love Wes. That's, like I said earlier, you probably didn't hear it. I listen to Wes Montgomery every day. There's certain songs I listen to by Wes. Tears start running out my eyes. Like,
I hear that.
I come, it's like, ooh, just touches me right there. Santana said once, when you listen to Wes, you say, everything's going to be all right. That's a good thing.
Thank you so much, Floyd, for that. He had some
Thanks,
great
Lauren.
questions. I'm really glad you was there. So we're gonna have some other people asking some other questions too, real soon. Well,
Mhm.
thank you again. Let me give you one of
Thanks,
these
Floyd.
because you deserve it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Sounds like they got even more people in there now.
So
They
I'm,
must have been to see Floyd.
so I'm going to play a song for you all. And this one has been requested by Michelle. Michelle says, I see you in concert every time you come to the Pizza Express in Soho in London. When are you coming back?
Soon as they let people out of the United States,
And she says she thinks you have a great voice, and
Oh,
this is the song that she loves.
I'm over here by my suitcase, trying to find a warm place to spend the night. Heavy rains are falling. It seems I hear your voice calling. It's alright. On this a rainy night in Georgia, a rainy night in Georgia. Lord, I think it's raining all over the world. It's raining all over the world. Neon signs are flashing, taxi cabs and buses passing through the night. The distant moaning of a train, it seems to play a sad refrain, but it's alright. On this a rainy night in Georgia, a rainy night in Georgia. Lord, I think it's raining all over the world. It's raining all over the world. How many times I've wondered and it still comes out the same. No matter how you look at it or think of it, this life, and you've got to play the game, baby. I found me a place in a boxcar, so I take my guitar to pass the time. Late at night, when it's hard to rest, I held her picture to my chest, and I feel fine. Rainy night in Georgia, baby, it's a rainy night in Georgia, and Lord, I believe it's raining all over the world. It's raining all over the world. I feel like it's raining. It's raining.
Hey, Floyd had more people clapping for him than for me.
I keep sending them back out. Well, they'll be back later.
Okay.
So, Uncle Nick, you have a voice, don't you?
And I don't know, I never considered myself a singer,
Well, I think you've proved us wrong right there with that track there.
my manager made me sing, and, she kept convincing me that I could sing, but I wasn't hearing it, because I grew up, my family always told me, just play, don't sing. Whatever you do, don't sing. Because back then, I thought I could sing, like Smokey Robinson or something. And people were calling me Chokey Robinson. So I had to get low. I had to go low.
Well, we love it. We absolutely love it. And so I have another couple of questions. We have Yvette Porter. And Yvette Porter says, hello, DJ Sapphire and Nick. Nick, is there any musician that you would like to collaborate with or record a song with?
Um, all of them.
All of
But
them.
beyond no specific people, I mean, I like all the cats out here, and so any of the guys in smooth jazz genre, Gerald Albright and all these guys,
Hmm.
I love to do a song with them. I was fortunate enough to get Najee on the Journey record with Buckle Up, and he laid it down, and James, he comes in, James Lloyd, Pieces of a Dream, he comes in, plays, and he kills it every time, and Big Dog kills it every time. And purposely, I kind of stay away from, trying to record songs with horn players because that's another person that, I'm gonna get to play the song if I don't have a horn player on the show. And I am. It's not that I'm cheap, but that's another person I got to pay if I get a horn player. That's two sandwiches gone. So the well, and I've loved to record with some R&B people. I did a song with Glenn Jones, the
Yeah,
R&B,
I love that song.
and I like to record with some, the other artists out there, but I'm probably not big time enough, so
Oh, you need to
I
find some
don't.
artists in the UK to collaborate with.
Okay, if you know I'm telling you, get in touch with me because I don't think Beyonce gonna let me play on none of her records.
You never know until you ask.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all, I don't dance fast enough for them. So I like to slow jam. They want to be hopping all over the stage. So,
And Michelle Sellers is going to be seeing you at your concert in Chicago on the 31st of October.
oh yeah.
Yeah, where's Michelle? Michelle, there you are. Would you like to ask a question, my sweetheart? You're there.
Well, I have more of a comment. I've been following you since 2007. I saw you at Seabreeze, and
Okay.
I think that was the year you were like the host for the 10th anniversary show.
Hmm.
And I actually was digging through some computer files, and I actually found that recording again.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like
because
to
you
see
had
that.
Joyce Cooling on stage with you, and I think Steve Cole and Slim.
Oh,
Man. Yeah,
a
yeah,
bunch of them up there that day.
it was. It
That
was.
was you. That was you following me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the police was at you because I thought you was a stalker, but
That's not nice. Don't do that.
no, I'm just pulling your leg. But thank you for being a loyal fan. I love that. Hopefully they'll let me be the host again sometime.
Yeah,
I did it for about 4 or 5 years.
yeah,
Host
yeah.
Oh,
at a little place.
wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. I look forward to seeing you on the 31st.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
I come in no costume, are you?
Huh?
Are you gonna be wearing a costume?
No, no, no. I scared myself. No, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna wear one. I'm gonna wear one. I'm gonna come with Nick Colionne.
Okay,
No.
that's cool. We can do that.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you,
I
my
look forward.
darling.
Hey, make sure you holler at me.
Okay, I will.
Oh. And Bayo, he asked, I see you're in the lineup for the Smooth Jazz Cruise in 2022, along with some other notable jazz greats. Have you done the Smooth Jazz Cruise before?
Yes.
And do you enjoy them?
Oh, I love the cruise. I was there. What year is this? Oh, it's 2020. How could I forget? I was on last time I was on the Smooth Jazz Cruise was 2019, and I was only on there before, but I can't remember what year. I've been on just about all the cruises, the different ones, and
Mhm.
I because the 2022 cruise was supposed to be in 21, and everything got pushed back, with the virus. I hope all you people are staying safe, and following the guidelines. I don't know if wearing a mask do anything, but I'm not taking no chances. So, but yeah, I love the cruise and smooth jazz cruise people. They really go out of their way to make it happen for you. And everybody's nice, and the artists are all around. You talk to them, and I mean, you talk to them because I don't talk to them. I just keep walking. But the atmosphere is great. The shows are great, and goes on all day and all night.
Yeah.
So
So when you do the cruise, do you actually perform every day?
no,
No.
you do two shows, and then you do all the jam sessions and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's so much activity, and there's so many acts.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do some cruises and you get crazy. I did the Capital Jazz cruise one time. Well, I've done it more than once, but they messed up their schedule, and so they had me playing on the main stage from my first show at 6, and then I was doing a show with some other guys, a tribute show, and they scheduled it right behind it, and so I had to play, grab my guitar, run to the other end of the boat, and I mean them boats were long, hitting my knee with the guitar case, and get there just in time to play the show with them, finish the show with them, run back to do my second show on the main stage again, then run back and do the second show with them guys. Somebody was not thinking. So I was more tired from running back and forth than I was playing. But it was a good time. But as I was saying, smooth jazz cruise, if you can get on, because you will have a great time.
They're so expensive. For us in the UK to fly
Mhm.
over to the States, then pay for the cruise and the accommodation, everything, it's just crazy. You're talking about £3,000. I know you guys are good, but I can't afford that.
Me neither. That's why I'm playing.
Unless I get to DJ, then that'll be fine.
Man, see, you got to put in a request.
Yeah.
They can use a female DJ, because when all the shows are over, then they have the after parties.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that for 2020.
I just go and look at the after party because by that time I'm sleepy. you know.
I have a really interesting question right here from Bim.
Okay.
He said, is it true that you used to use your mum's mascara to draw on a mustache because you was too young to enter clubs to play?
Why he find that out? He must have been really digging into my biography. You know,
Where's Bim?
I had a I had a publicist years ago, and me and him were really close. And I told him stuff that I didn't think there was gonna be he was gonna put out there. So I told him the story. And I was playing with everybody that in the band was like in their 20s except me. So they got me to start doing it. So I was like drawing mustache on, so I look older. And sometimes I'd get carried away. I'd have sideburns and the whole 9 yards. And
So
you
here
know,
is Bim, the guy that asked the question.
yeah, they were like, then when
Yes,
you
I did my research.
have you, you know,
Yeah, I saw you a few years back in the Express Jazz Club, and I've
okay.
been following you ever since then. I probably about 3-4 years ago, and I
Oh,
dug
okay.
up that bit of information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still get one of them, didn't you?
and did you? Yeah, and did somebody find out and then wipe it off or
Yeah.
something?
No, it was like, you're trying to look older when you're young, and trying to
Yeah.
talk to all the older women, telling them I was 22, but so this one particular night we were in this club and my grandmother came, my grandfather. So, and I was walking around trying to look cool. And
Yeah.
the guys told me this, like, hey, your grandmother here. And I'm like, man, my grandmother not here. We like, we way outside Chicago, but my grandmother came anywhere I played. So I walk over there to say hello. And the lady that I was trying to talk to was at the next table, right? And my grandmother, she looks at me, I was like, hey, how you doing? And my grandmother looked at me, she like, what the H is that all over your face? I was like, what? I put on my best stupid hat, which wasn't hard, but and then she took the little paper napkin thing and dipped it in some water, started wiping the stuff off my face.
Wow.
Yeah, trying to look old. And I'm like, oh man. And my cool just went right out the window, just like that, And everybody like, he just a baby. I'm like, oh god, but probably
And
when
that
you
was the end of it.
oh yeah. I started getting hair on my face. I'm like, man, now I gotta shave, so but that was an interesting time.
I love
And
that. So, Bim, do you have
That's
another
good.
question?
Yes, the other question was what contemporary smooth jazz artists, guitarists, do you sort of admire or do you like their work, basically?
yeah, I do. And I'm pretty
Which ones
close.
would you?
I'm pretty close with most of them. Norman is like my brother. We talk all the time, and some of the newer guys who I really love, George Benson, I love. And some of the newer guys like Adam Hawley, he hit me up yesterday, wanted me to do a session for him, and one of my favorite cats is coming up, David P. Stevens. I'm really digging him, and my real friend, who was my first friend when I broke into this is Peter White. Peter is my cat, and Peter and Mark Antoine, you they keep me laughing, so. Especially Mark, because I don't know what planet Mark come from. He says Spain, but I don't believe him. But so I like Norman. Like I said, George Benson's at the top of the list, and Pat Martino, but Norman, Peter, Mark. I really like a lot Chris Standring, and Ken Navarro. These guys I listen to, I listen to them and I'm like, man, these guys, they be putting it out there, and I'm glad they do because that keeps me on my toes. I listen to them, I'm like, guess I'll go home and practice a couple of hours, and there's a lot of great young dudes coming up, and so, and they always asking me, hey man, you ever think about managing somebody? Won't you, man? I'm like, I can't even manage my own self, so I just do manage to stay out of trouble. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm digging them all, man. And they're playing some interesting stuff, and some interesting styles. That's what I really like, because when I play with Peter, we actually just recorded something together, and I don't know if he's gonna put it out or if I'm gonna put it out, but we recorded something together. It's a song that we actually made up the first day we met. He said he was in Chicago, and I was just local, and he wanted to play with me. He was staying at the hotel that I was playing in the jazz club in there, and he'd sit in with me, and we were playing the song. And at that time, my manager had one of those cameras, and back then cameras, it ain't been that long ago. Cameras would only record like 20 seconds of video, So she kept clipping, and we've been saying we were going to play this song. We were going to record this song for the last 16, 17 or more years. And he hit me up a few months ago. He's like, hey man, it's time for us to do that song. We did the song. and he told me, and we're going to name it The Day We Met. I was like, okay, that sounds a little suspect, but if that's what you want to name it, that's cool. You know. But I like playing with all the cats, man. You know, when it's a bunch of guitar players on the stage, it's so much fun. I used to love playing with Chuck Lowe before he passed, and Chieli Minucci. You know, these cats. It's always good when you're playing. To play with guys that inspire you to reach. Reach. It's like, especially if they play a solo just before yours, you're like, okay, now let me dig in. I got to dig back in the back of my brain. But because I find if I'm not actually doing the show, then my playing's a lot different. Because if I'm just standing there and with my eyes closed playing, I'm gonna play entirely different, because I'm gonna pull everything out that I know. But when you're doing the show, you can't all the time just really, really stretch out like that, because you only got so much time before the next person coming on stage. So you're limited to how much you can stretch unless you play in a small jazz club or something, and you then you can go, you can make the song last 30 minutes if you want to, but, when you're on the big stage, they're like, oh yeah, they got the clock on the stage, the stage clock, and they always are telling you, hey, all right, you got 90 minutes, stage clock. So don't run over. I was like, I got 90 minutes. You'll see me in 88. I'll be standing right there.
Well, thank you, Ben, for your question.
One last
And me.
question, if you don't mind. Can I just
Oh,
squeeze one last question in?
Okay.
Yeah. Uncle Nick, you're quite big on teaching the youth guitar, and mentoring and that kind of stuff. Where did you develop your passion for teaching? Where and when?
It was here. I never really thought about teaching. I just kind of fell into it, doing mentoring, and kids, they would start asking me about guitar. So, when I first started at the school that I was doing it in, I just started, I came up there to meet the kids because the school was in trouble, needed some money, and I did a show for them, to help them get money. And I met a few kids who played guitar, and interesting thing about that is there was a kid in third grade when I came there. He became my boy because, he had some juice already, and me and him went through his whole elementary school thing, me teaching him and stuff. And he would be, I just want to grow up and go on the road with you. Then he went to high school. I still, me and him were still together doing the thing. Then he went to college and we were still doing the thing. He graduated from college and became my road manager, so,
wow.
I was like, careful what you wish for, son, So he's not working with me now because, he got married and, got a couple of little babies and he want to be around, but now he teaches guitar, at a high school. So
Right.
it's good,
nice one. Thank you, Ben. Great
Thank
question.
you, Ben. That's a good question.
Yeah. I was going to ask that next, but it's cool.
Ben beat you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Ben. You get one of those. But no, he does get the best question, though, about the drawing on the mustache. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Jacqueline also asked a question. She says, do you have any plans on being featured on Marcus Miller's Saturday night show anytime soon? Does he have his own show?
I just thought about that, he had George Benson and those guys on last week. If he asked me, we cool. Me and Marcus are very cool, and he asked me, the it depends on who asks, and they because everybody is doing something, and I know they have to do something, but you know,
Hmm.
you
And I
know,
assume his show's just about guitarists, is it?
I'm not sure what the total concept is. I know he had
Okay.
Paul Jackson Jr. on there too,
Hmm.
but I don't know. Like I said, if he
Oh.
asked me, I'll definitely consider doing it.
Hmm.
You know,
I'm going
I've
to play
had
another one of your songs, if that's okay.
that's always okay.
Yeah. I hope you're going to remember this one.
Let's hope.
This is the one with Chris. Actually, it's Chris Big Dog Davis
Hmm.
that you feature on. Just when
Okay.
you thought you had enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, baby. Here I go.
Just when you thought that I had enough. Just when you thought that you had enough.
Oh yeah.
Just when you thought that I had enough. Just when you thought that you had enough.
Yeah.
Just when you thought that I had enough. Just when you thought that I had enough. Just when you thought that you had enough. Just when you thought that I had enough. Just when you thought that you had enough. Just when you thought that I had enough. Just when you thought that you had enough. Just when you thought that I had enough.
Man, man.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, I have another question for you. This is actually from me now. When
Mhm.
you play over here in the UK, how different is it to when you play in the States? Because we have, the Pizza Express. We don't have that many venues where we have smooth jazz. And
Mhm.
it's all very seated and quite laid back and reserved. But in America, I feel it's a lot livelier. What do you think?
You know, I love the audiences at the Pizza Express. I mean, the club is small and intimate, but the people that they really get into it, and that's a great thing. So I love coming there, and when Jimmy King, and he brings me, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, because that's a few days of people really getting into the music, and appreciating what we're trying to do. The stage could be a little bit bigger, but you know, I hit my head on a speaker one time up there, and it was on the ceiling. But like, okay, but it's one of my favorite places to play, and
Oh,
that's for
really?
real. That's for
You
real.
played at the Pizza Express how many times?
And I don't even know. Let me see. I came there the first time I came to Peace Express. It was me, Brian Simpson, and Dave Coss.
Hmm.
And then the next time I came, it was me and Marion Meadows.
Oh, nice.
Then I came three times with me and Steve Cole. Then Eric Darius and I've been there a lot of times.
You have, haven't you? So that
Yeah,
was this year with Eric Darius.
yep. Pretty soon I'm gonna come by myself. I don't need no company. you know, stage is small enough. Get the band up there, and then I got another dude standing over here. And the stage is small. And I'm trying not to smack him upside the head with the guitar. So it's like it's about time for me to come by myself.
So it must be wonderful when you play at those festivals when you got that massive stage,
I don't know.
all that room.
Sometimes you get on that big stage, you're like, man, I need some more band members to pick up some more room. you know? But yeah, big stage is good because you can keep moving.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're standing in one place holding that heavy guitar, your back start hurting. You're like, I got to move. you know.
And when you do come and perform in the UK, do you actually have time to go and enjoy London?
Oh yeah, I probably have been everywhere around London. I get disappointed because every time I come there, the Queen is never in there. And I'm like, oh, the Queen got something against me. She don't never come to the palace when I'm here. So you know, I'm looking up for the flag. I'm like, oh man, she ain't here again. you know. Then I come back with 1,000 souvenirs, for my nieces and nephews.
Uh-huh.
So, pins and all kind of stuff. And only thing, I don't like is like, how come the stuff that say extra large is like a small when you're bad? When I try on the jacket, it's like got double X on there. And I usually just wear a large. I'm gonna get it bigger, so I buy it, and I don't try it on. I bring it home. My 8-year-old niece couldn't even get it on. Guess extra large got a whole new meaning in London.
Things are a lot bigger in the States, though, aren't they?
yeah,
Your food portions as well.
man, yeah, but you have some good breakfast food over there. Some of that stuff I don't understand, but I got my restaurants that I like over there, because I'm a fast food kind of guy. When I finish the gig, I just want something to eat so I can go to sleep. You know, and I discovered where KFC was. They saw a lot of me. And but some of the other stuff I got really good. My record company is based out of the UK, and
Okay.
I don't know the name of the restaurant that the owner takes me to every time I go there, but I know if I was to go there by myself, I'd probably just go to McDonald's and sit on the steps because I'm not spending that money.
It's a pricey venue, is it?
Oh yeah, I just come with a sandwich and sit outside like I've been there.
I would love to know where that is. Please, when you find out, do let me know.
Okay,
I'll go
yeah.
and walk past and smell the food as well.
He teases me. He's like, "You don't eat for 2 weeks before you come over here, do you?" I'm like, "Yep." you know? But
Oh,
I
so
guess in the river.
would you actually come to London just for a holiday and not perform? Or would you have to come to perform?
I know. I plan to come there eventually and just get around and I always come in a day or two early so I can get around and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
but I like to spend like a week or two there just so I can really take in the city and stuff because
Yeah.
I try to get up early and go do things and but then then all of a sudden it's time to get back. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
This friend of mine was showing me around,
Mm-hmm.
and she she we got on the underground on the train, and she got on first. I was being a gentleman for a change, and the train took off without me. I don't know where I'm at. you know, I'm like, I'm waving like on a movie.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna get on the next one.
you have to be quick on our undergrounds. You know,
Yeah,
in London we do rush around a lot, so you have to be real
yeah.
quick. There's no just taking your time with things.
Yeah, people over there should be in really good shape because y'all walk fast, man, and be moving. You know, I passed a lady. She was about 200 years old. She just passed me up. You know, because I be taking my time trying to see everything.
Yeah.
That last song you played, that Big Dog song.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know I was gonna have to sing it too. You know. When he told me he wanted me to do the session, he's like, "Yeah, and I want you to sing the part just when you had it." I was like, "Oh man!" And the talking in the beginning, and all that talking. It's like, "Oh God, here we
That's
go."
a great song. I absolutely love that one.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we're going to have a question from Paul Williams. I don't know where he is. I just see his video's not on right now. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask another question by Jacqueline Davis. She says, do you ever create music from writings that other people have sent to you?
Yeah, I have. Um, Matter of fact, on finger painting, I got a song that was sent to me from a young lady that was at Burke's Jazz Festival, and she told me she had some stuff, and she sent me a song,
Hmm.
and I changed some parts of it, and it's on the record, you know.
And what song was that one?
Okay, see now you're gonna ask me something hard. You know, I'll tell you in a second, you know. But it's actually one of my favorite songs on that record too. You as soon as I think of the lyrics,
Mm.
um, I'm not good right on the spot. It's like,
Okay.
oh, I have to think, and I'm not used to doing that. That thinking thing. I try to stay away from thinking as much as possible. But you know, I only want to see you smile.
Oh, only to see you smile. That's
Hmm.
actually one of my favorite songs off that album. I had it lined up to play next.
Oh, well, good. Yeah, that's like one of my favorites.
Oh, so let's get a quick question. No, let me play this first, and then we're going to have a question from Paul. Is that okay?
It's cool.
Yeah.
Go,
So
go for it.
here you go. Go. Oh. Lorna. How you doing? Hope you had a good netball match. Did you win? Did you win? Nice one. That is getting a lot of love. Only to see you smile. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. So we're going to have. Where are you, Paul Williams? I'm going to unmute you. So we've got Paul. Paul is another guitarist, smooth jazz guitarist. Just released an album just the other day called Colours of Love. It's absolutely
Congratulations.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Go for it, Paul.
Hi, Nick. It's just so great to actually be able to speak to you. I work as well, and I do a lot of driving. So I've listened to all of your albums, and one of my favorite tracks is, believe it or not, it's Uncle Nick. Now, I'm finding that your music is the actual backing of the music is and everything to do with it. You know, how much involvement do you have in the production? Are you actually, when you're writing, are you producing, sequencing, playing guitars, bass?
Oh,
You
yeah.
are.
Yeah. I'm really involved in the production of my stuff because I know how I want it to sound, And,
Right. So are you mixing as well?
oh no, I don't mix.
Right. Okay. Okay.
my ears are dead. But
When it
and mix, I'll do like pre-mixes on my stuff so I can get a sound. And,
yeah, so yeah. Do you know when do you reference to any artists?
Well, as far as my mixes,
Yeah. Like if you're going to
I kind of just listen for what I want to hear, because sometimes when you writing a song and you mixing, it's like I have a tendency to have things extremely low because I know they're there, so I'm hearing it. But then when we listen again, it's like, oh, where did them strings go? Because I've been buried, but I can still hear it in my mind. Or I bury the guitar down so low, I'm like, man, that guitar is loud. And I keep turning it down. It's like, come back to what happened to the guitar? Oh yeah, I turned it down, so it's better with fresh ears for somebody else to, listen to it, because I do crazy things, because when I'm recording, especially guitar, I said the way I record is I'll play like 20 tracks of guitar and I won't listen to either one of them. I'll just go one track to the next, one track to the next, turn it off, go up, listen to it a day or two later. Like,
yeah, to get your ears back.
Right.
The other question I wanted to really ask you was, you said that you get nervous. Now, everybody prepares themselves for a show differently. If you're going to do a show, depending on what kind of show it is, if you're maybe in a major act, how do you prepare yourself to go and do the show? Do you get there early? How do you set yourself up to do a good performance?
Well, I don't prepare myself that early. I know I got to do the show, but I have a ritual, and that is just before I walk on the stage, when the band is playing the introduction, the last thing I say before I walk from behind the curtain or whatever, I just say, God, please let these people like me, And I just go out there and do it, and that's why, on my shows, I start off banging so hard, because I got to get rid of all that, anxious energy right away. I start calming down like after the second song, but I'm when I walk out there, I'm like a duck on the water. I may look smooth, but my feet are going 1,000 miles an hour up under that water. It's like, okay, and I think that helps me in my performance. It's to have that nerve, because you don't ever want to be too confident that people just gonna like accept you, you know, and blah blah. You know, you have to go out there and earn it, you know. And you know, I've been lucky that, you know, most people like me. I think at least 65% of them. Yeah, you know, but you know.
So you've got no mechanism to break down that nervous feeling then, or is nerves good?
You know, those nerves make my fingers faster, but no, I don't really have a mechanism, you know. And I think my mechanism is that if I had to say I had my mechanism would be that I just truly love to play, you know, because my mom always would say, they don't know that you probably just play for free. You just want to be up there. I told her, I was like, they don't pay me for playing. They pay me for hauling all my stuff, you know. So, yeah, you know, I love to play, but hauling all this crap around, you gonna pay me to do that. You know? But so that would be, you know, the only Mexican. Man, you know, I love people, you know, and it's a rewarding feeling for me to be able to go out there and play, and you know, and people like what I do, you know. That's the best feeling in the world, you know. To I mean, you know, the first time, you know, you walk on that big stage, you know, and you start playing one of your songs and people respond to it. That's the best feeling in the world. I was like, oh man, you know, they know this song, you know. Like I thought only my family knew it. You know, and that's, you know, and it's inspiring, and you know, so I mean, and I just, you know, and I love the sound of guitars. I don't care who playing them. You know, you know. It probably, if I didn't play guitar, I'd probably be a luthier. I'd probably be fixing guitars or something. You know, I just love the sound of guitars, man. You know, it's like I listen to all kinds of music. You know, from jazz to country. You know, everything in between. You know, only thing that bothers me about today's pop music is that they don't have a lot of guitars in their stuff no more. You know, back in the day, all the songs started off with the guitar, you know. Now you gotta like, guitar in here? No, ain't no guitar in there. You know? I gotta make up a part, you know.
When did you decide that you was gonna do smooth jazz? What was it? Was it a decision? Because I had to, for me, I had to make a decision that, yeah, I'm gonna do this genre. Because I noticed you said something about being in the genre.
Yeah, you know, the genre actually chose me because like I said, I didn't know what I was doing in my first record. You know, I was just recording, and you know, I took my stuff down to the radio station down here. You know, somebody told me to take it there. The other guy was like, they'll never play you. Took my stuff in on a Friday, and Monday it was on the radio. You know, so it just kind of chose me, you know, and because I've always thought that I'm kind of in between places, you know. I'm like, you know, I got a heavy straight ahead background and a heavy R&B background, you know. So I believe it's like the combination of the two, you know. And then, you know, like with the smooth jazz genre, there's you know, because, you know, jazz, straight ahead jazz was about the solo, you know. And this genre is more about the hook, you know. You got to get the hook, you know, but, you know, instead of, you know, you go on there, you know, riffing off some of the stuff that you play straight ahead, you'd never be on the radio, you know, so unless you're on straight ahead station. But I just, like I said, it chose me, so, and it's been good to me, you know. I mean, radio has been very good to me, and, you know, the gigs have been good, and, you know, I can't wait to get back on the road, you know.
I would say it's inspirational to see that you did about 4 albums before you actually got anywhere with any albums.
yeah.
You know, I mean, I've just done my first album, Colours of Joy, and I thought, wow, when I'd finish my album, it will be all right. But it's a different story. You know, you just got to keep going. Do you feel that? Do you ever get tired?
I'm tired now, but yeah. You know, you never can say, you know, how it's gonna happen for you. You know, it's like it took me 4, it might take you just this one, you know. I mean, you know, it depends on where the cards fall. You know, your first record can be your breakout record, you know. It took 4 records for me to get a breakout song. You know, I got some airplay, you know, a little bit here and there. You know, my first record did better than the 2 behind it, you know. But you know, it's all timing, you know, and you know, and everybody has a time, you know, everybody has time to shine, you know. It's like my great grandmother would say, sometimes, you know, your time and God's time is different, you know. And probably didn't happen for me real early in life because God probably said, hey, if I let him get successful now, he'd probably just be crazy, you know. So wait until I calm down, you know. So, you know, and this could be your time and space, man. You know, you know, my advice would be, you know, if you don't expect it, it's even better. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, but it'll happen. You know, perseverance, you know, is what it takes. You know, because you know, we all want, you know, there's no such thing as overnight successes anymore. You know.
No.
And ain't nobody discovering nobody now. You know, you can't wait to get discovered. You got to go knock the door down. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody saying, you know, stuff I read about the old days. You know, they saw a guy. Oh yeah, that guy's great. We got to get him. Nah, that guy is great. I wonder if he got enough money to make his own record. You know, so,
Wow.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very
Great
much.
and man, I
question.
wish you much success with your project. You know.
Thank you.
You play guitar, man. Don't come trying to take none of my jobs, okay?
I'll invite you in.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah. Give me a backstage pass.
Thank you, Paul. They were great questions. Really were. You deserve one of these. Okay, so I'm gonna have a few more questions for you, if that's okay, because I know
I got a few more minutes.
you're
You know,
tired.
I got a few more minutes left in me.
Yeah, cool. So, what do you do in your spare time,
When I
if you
can,
ever have any?
I go fishing when I can. You
You go
know,
fishing,
yeah, that's my other love. You know,
do you?
yeah, I go fishing and chill out, get next to nature. You know, do a little camping here and there when I can.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I haven't had you know, the last couple of years, I haven't had a chance to fish as much as I would like because I was on the road all the time. But, you know, and I'd be out on the road. And I was like, as soon as I get home, man, I'm going fishing. Then I come home and it pour down raining for the next week. You know, boy, it would be so hot, nobody wanted to be outside. You know, so, and I didn't want to catch no fish that was already cooked. So, you know, I'm like, okay. But, you know,
But you
that's what
must
I
have
do.
a bit more time on your hands now.
Yeah, you know, but I've been out, you know, a few times this year. I had a charter set up for a couple of weeks ago, and all week they said it was going to be 85 degrees, sunny, blah blah blah. That Saturday came, the wind started blowing. It started getting cloudy and raining. I get a call from the charter people saying the wind is too high, the waves are too high. We're not letting no boats go out. I
Oh,
had to reschedule to May because the only other date they had open, you know, that wasn't booked was in December.
mm-hmm.
And I don't do no ice fishing. No, the kid do not like cold. You know, so it's like, nope. So I scheduled for May, but I've caught some really nice fish, when I, especially in Cancun when I did Warren Hills Cancun thing, and Warren set it up where I did like a fishing thing with people, and I caught like a 7-foot sailfish over there, So I love to fish and I love to eat the fish. So I'm really careful with it. I feel like I'm not gonna eat the fish. I take real care on how I pull them in so I can throw them back,
Right.
because I know I will come back and catch him again. You know?
Do you find fishing quite therapeutic?
Yes, very, very relaxing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even care if I catch any fish. I just like to sit out there and be a part of nature. It's quiet when I go because I'm out there like 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning. And I'll sit there all day and catch one fish or no fish, but I'm still happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy by the water.
And do you like your own company?
Yeah, because when I'm in an argument with myself, it don't last that long. I win.
Okay, I'm going to play one more song and I'm going to let you go because I know you've only had a few hours sleep.
You
And so
correct.
my last song is going to be How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You.
Hey,
And why did you choose that one to cover?
actually, Big Dog chose that for me.
Okay.
He was like, he got a really deep voice too, and he's like, "Yeah, Nick Colionne, man, I came up with this arrangement. I'm gonna send it to you. You got to do this." I was like, "Man, you know how I feel about colors." He's like, "No, this is you. This is you." So he sent it. I listened to it, and I was like, "This is me. This is me." So,
He knows you very well, clearly.
oh yeah, it's like all the producers just about that I work with,
Hmm.
we all Leos.
Okay.
So,
So how many producers do you work with?
well, Big Dog is my main cat.
Hmm.
Then I got my cat from there. Used to be in my band. I still love him, and he moved out to Utah. John Blasucci and James Lloyd and myself. Nick Cole produced a song for me. And way back a little when I did the Keeping It Cool record, Steve Cole produced 2 songs on that. And
Okay.
and I'm getting ready to start working with another cat also, because I like to keep my ideas flowing fresh. I have to, keep reinventing myself so I can stay relevant.
Yes,
So
definitely. Okay, let's play this one. I played that on my radio show the other day, and so many people commented how great it was, and I love it. When did you release that one?
That was let me check again. So that was like in 2018.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, but the thing is, the first time I heard it was probably a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
came out 2018.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, don't worry, I'll be playing it a lot more.
That would be a good thing.
Definitely. So I want to thank you again for your time and for your
Thank you.
comical stories. You are brilliant.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed all the questions, and
Mm.
you know, hopefully people got a little more insight to who I am and what I do, and I know they'll walk away saying, "Yeah, he's a real nut," but, that's okay because I am what I am.
Well, I hope they will be buying your music.
That would be a real good thing.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So everybody, please, we tell them where they can find you on
You can
social
find me
media.
on Facebook, Instagram, uh, all of them, even MySpace. I still got that going.
MySpace.
I just never killed that one. I was like, never know, it might come back in style. you know. And my website, nickcolionne.com, And
Uh-huh.
so, I'm on all the social media things and,
Do you do
you
your
know,
own social media?
yep,
You do.
I do most of my pages, but there are other pages like some people put up, they so well, lady put up a page, we love Nick Colionne.
Uh-huh.
So, and I love him, they love him. you know, there's another page, fans of Nick Colionne, that I run. And then my regular Facebook pages. Yeah, I do on my own social media, because I think, yeah, somebody else do it. People know it ain't you. They know I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
They say, oh no, he didn't write that. A whole bunch of mistakes. All the words are spelled right, and it's got good grammar. We know he didn't write it. So I let them know that it's me. So
Oh,
thank you again for having me
bless
on
you.
the show.
No, thank you so much. But maybe next time we do this, you'll actually play live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, am I playing dead? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you
Maybe
to
I'll
do
have it
that.
together.
Yeah. But if not, if you don't play live on Zoom, you'll play live at a venue, and I'll be
Let-
hosting that event over here in the UK.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm
That'll
going to
be-
say you probably got a lot more fans tonight, but I think everybody on here are fans anyway, so they will all be there.
Yeah,
Apart from
see,
those in America.
hey, living in America. Yeah.
That voice.
We'll do
So
my
thank
Jimmy
you,
Buffett.
Nick. I could keep talking to you forever, but I do need to let you go.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
I'm going to give you one final round of applause, everybody, because everybody's on mute.
Okay, so let me do
Pretend
my,
this, pretend this is them.
okay. And I'll do my James Brown sandal.
Love that.
Be good, people. Stay safe.
Yes,
Stay
thank you
healthy.
again, Nick, and have a wonderful evening. Get some rest, chill out, and go fishing.
All right. Be
All
good.
right, take care now.
Corleone out. Good.
Oh, wasn't that amazing? I need another one of these.